All right, in this class, we're going to look at the pronunciation of this word here, the. Or is it the? Well, it's both. So let's look at this. When we look at a word that starts with a consonant, for example, beginning. So we start with our consonant here, then we pronounce it the. So let's start at the beginning. The same, sometimes we get lost in the middle. The scary part of any story we're writing or any life we're living. We get lost in the middle. And more often, it makes no sense when it's good. In the end. So when we have a noun that starts with a vowel, then we pronounce it the. So the end. Or maybe we're saying the earth, although we just pronounce it earth. We never say the Saturn or the Jupiter. People do say the earth, which is pretty fucking stupid because, like I said, we don't say the Saturn, we don't say the Jupiter. There's just this nonsense when it comes to Earth. It shouldn't actually. Let's do ourselves a favor. Let me teach you the right thing. Let's not do silly things silly people do. It's just Earth. It's not the Earth. It's not the Saturn, and it's not the Jupiter. It's just Earth, Saturn, and Jupiter. But it's other things, like, for example, the bread, or the orange, or the apple. So anything that starts with a vowel is going to have the sound the, like that. So, in context, for example, but there is one example where a noun with a consonant might have the sound the. So let's look at something silly that I wrote. This is actually online. This is from I think the last story I posted here, The Activists. So let's have a look here, only at this paragraph. None of the ladies could believe it. It wasn't just the hippest club in town, it was the club. So what do we have here? It wasn't just the hippest. So here, there's no problem. We have our consonant here, the hippest club in town. It was the club. So here I wrote, it was, and this is just for pronunciation, the club. Ideally, we should say it was the club. But if I say it was the club, well, then the club is the club that we know about. If it's a club, we don't know what that club is. The difference between a and the is specific. We know the club. When I say it's the club, it's almost superlative. It's not just emphatic, it's superlative. It's saying that there's no other club in town. This is when you think of, look up in a dictionary and look up the word club, well, this is the club that's in there. This is the club. It's the club everyone wants to go to. It's a club that everyone agrees is the best club in town. For example, and we could do that with anything. He wasn't just the best guitarist. He was the guitarist of my generation. And that's it. So in this case, once again, instead of saying he was the guitarist of my generation, which is kind of weird, we say he was the guitarist of my generation, which once again, it's superlative. It's instead of saying, because normally we'd say the best, the most, whatever. Here we don't worry about the superlative. The article functions as a superlative. It just says the, of all of them, whatever your adjective is going to be, well, this guitarist is that. There's only one. So that's the one time, once again, where we can do that. So we say here, it wasn't just the hippest club in town, it was the club. So once again, and not just hip, not just cool, not just expensive, not just everything. The club means it was every possible adjective that you can think of. Ideally good, but in some cases, shitty as well. So Let's look in context. Let's look at a sentence that looks at both the and the. So we'll say, the man ate the egg before he ate the chicken. Oh, shit. So let's look at this sentence here. Let me make this, Kian, make the screen smaller. Sure. Thanks, Kian. No worries, Kian. Can we put all this on one line? Sure. Thanks, Kian. No worries, Kian. So we have here, the man ate, what the fuck? What did I do? What have I gone and done? Did I do something? Oh, there we go. The man ate the egg before he ate the chicken. So here we're going to pronounce it the egg before he ate the chicken. So in the end, the egg comes before the chicken. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an argument closed. The end. Thank you. And, you know, all that usual shit. Love the people who love you. Everyone else is just a piece of shit.